Hey, all, Brad here with another post-repair video. This is a Stargate board set on the bench right here. James over at Vintage Arcade Vault sent this in. He's had me doing quite a few of his Williams games lately. Some are repairs, and then usually we do a full restoration maintenance on them to make them more reliable for him. So Stargate MPU, strip this down, got a simple green bath, remove the labels, which I reapply. I have a way to get them off without damaging them. Got all new electrolytic capacitors. These are Nichicons. Replaced an electrolytic here with a tantalum, 22 microfarad. It had already had a coin cell battery installed with CR2032. Had wires on the front. I moved a little jumper to the back. I install a CR2450, which has about 3 times the capacity as a CR2032. Got new reproduction labels on both of the video decoders. The older ones were pretty faded and chipped up, scratched up. We've got new Molex headers here with the square pin, so we get much more surface area to make contact. And be honest, cold solder joints and corroded round terminals on these original Molex are the cause of a lot of problems on the board. So I swap them out on all the connections on the boards. So MPU cleaned up, polished, washed, rock solid now. ROM board. Got a new ribbon cable. I make these in-house, all 3M parts. We've got a new Nichicon electrolytic filter cap. These little clips on here for me to pick up 5 volts for my little video converter on the test bench. New Molex headers, all 3 positions on the ROM board, cleaned up, fully tested, rock solid now. I/O board. I did a couple videos on this. There was a bad 4049 inverting buffer here. We found bad. Changed that out. Installed a new ribbon cable maintenance. New Nichicon filter cap maintenance as well. And then 2 new 10-pin Molex headers with the square pins on that board. Rock solid, fully tested. Soundboard back here. I did a video on this recently. Again, this gets stripped down. Somebody else had worked on it. Had some, work I had to redo on, but it got all new electrolytic capacitors. There's 8 of them on this board. We put new heatsink compound on the voltage regulator and audio amplifier. Got a new bridge rectifier. Fuses cleaned, removed. These little, they snap in, friction fit. I tighten those up as well with some custom needle nose I have. Basically gone through and polished. James is also interested in getting one of my Suzo HAP power supply adapters here, and then I do make a custom mounting bracket. It mounts in the same location that the original linear did, and it holds the Suzo HAP in place, and it's reversible. You can mount it with the connectors facing rearward if you want access from the rear door, or to the front. Some people like to be able to see these little LEDs through the coin door, so your preference. There's plenty of length in the harness to connect to these headers. And my adapter does provide the 6-pin connector, which most of the other ones don't. And this provides the power for the coin lamps on the front. And then I also provide LEDs to indicate that the power's there. And there's some test points on here as well. And then I also have 6600 microfarad, 2 caps there on the 5-volt side to help keep it up a little longer to prevent issues with corrupting your CMOS RAM. And on that note, on the MPU, there's a Zener diode here that I replaced. The original was 3.6 volts, and I put a 4.7, and that pretty much solves that issue when using a switcher of corrupting or removing your settings and high scores and that. So what happens is normally with the original linear, when you shut the power down, there's an unregulated 12 volt in the harness that comes in, and that triggers this other Zener here, which pulls the MPU, the CPU rather, into reset and prevents any traffic on the data bus, and that preserves the contents of the CMOS. But when you put a switcher in, that 12 volt stays up, and then the 5 volt, as it starts to drift down, it won't force the reset until you reach like 3.6, 3.7 volts. And by that time, all kinds of data is all erroneous moving on the buses here, the address and data lines, which sometimes randomly causes writes to the CMOS RAM and corrupts it. So with that 4.7 Zener, as soon as the voltage on the 5 volt drops to 4.7, or it instantly pulls the CPU into reset and stops all traffic on the bus. So it works pretty well. Let's go ahead and boot it up here. Again, I have a little remote control on my bench. This is the carpet or rug pattern, and this is basically testing the RAM. It's the first program that's run when you boot is test the RAM, and then ROM and CMOS, and then after those are successful, then it loads the game code. And you can see the battery, everything's working. It boots right into attract mode here for Stargate. I'll go ahead and coin it up. And we'll start a little game here. We'll just do some smart bombs. Viso, forward, reverse, hyperspace. So you can see the gameplay is fine. And again, this ran on the bench overnight. And I showed another video. I had the soundboard running overnight on its own tester as well, where it really exercises it. So I'll drop into diagnostics real quick here. No RAM errors detected. CMOS good. Sound test, we can loop through a couple of those. And then it just loops. Switch test, again, you can see here, got up, down, fire, thrust, left coin, start, reverse. And again, on another video, I showed testing all 18 of the inputs. And then we go into grid lines to set up your convergence on the monitor. Most people are using these TPG, test pattern generators, now for their monitor work. Back in the day, you used to use the game boards to do that. Red, green, blue, color bars, bookkeeping data, and then this is where you do the game settings, adjustments, and then back to attract mode. So again, this guy's ready to go. I do return all of the old parts here, ribbon cables and Molex headers and all the bad chips and components are in the bag to get returned. Whether you want them or not, you get them. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.